Our message is quite clear, guys. I don't want the source of information. Sorry, that's quite bad. I have chewing gum in my mouth. I don't want the source of your information to be what I say. I don't want to deceive you uh, to behave differently. I want to challenge you to open your mind, and this is very important in my segment. A lot of people angry with the way I deliver my message and what I do, and they are urging me to change topic to talk about something else. Yes, I know that that is easier to do. You just run away when it's getting hotter, when it's more challenging. But you have to understand, I cannot force you to do anything. I want to challenge you to think for yourself. I want to challenge Nigerians to think for themselves. Very, very important. I have get more than, I think when I count today, I count 100, 200. I count over 235 messages. I can't open them. And I can guarantee you 100% that if you open that message, 90% of them is insult. I am telling you, it's just insult because they are going to my request message. Those are not people I followed. Those are not people that followed me. So the message goes straight to my request and I don't open them. And when I decided to open them sometime, I'm telling you, if you see amount of insult, people are insulting me. Why are you talking about VDM? You can never bring VDM down. Thunder boom boom, thunder boom boom. A lot of bullshit was going on there. But you know what? This is Nigeria. There's my people. For the last 30 years, IBB has been lying to Nigerians. For the last 30 years, every leaders in Nigeria has lied to Nigerians. For the last 60 years, since the war in Memorial, people know what they needed to know. But IBB is about to kick bucket now. He decided to speak the truth. In a nation that is governed by rule of law, that want to actually reconcile, I don't think IBB should be speaking, but I believe that the truth is important, that the truth finally is surfacing, that the war, the Biafran war, the coup that took place was not as a result of an Igbo man result. It was actually somebody else they wanted to make the president. I still don't believe IBB. He's called a Maradona for a reason. A lot of people don't understand. Now, when I watch IBB speaking and I see the amount of money they were giving to him, I just laughed at our nation and I laugh at the rich people in this country and what they want. So, actually, falsehood sells more than truth, lies sells more. Speaking the truth, you cannot be selling, you cannot be popular. You have to come with deception, telling Nigeria this is a stone. Because it's a stone, they will never buy it from you. But telling Nigeria this stone I'm having in my hand is a gold, and convince them is a gold, they will buy it from you. Day before yesterday, we spoke on this platform here, and I talked about Pella, and I'm always trying to use Pella as example. And then I also talk about the recent Nedo text message that comes out or information that comes out. Pella was asked on Daddy Freeze, why are you talking rubbish? Pella said, Nigerians does not like to hear fact. They are not interested in anything good. They are just interested in rubbish. With the way Pella is going, if Pella is in the UK, Pella will not even be qualified to be on a social media. That is why it's so hard in United Kingdom, in America, in a country that idiot don't make it easy on social media. When I mean people that have nothing on their upstairs, they cannot make it because what we consume here is different than what they consume in Africa. you really have to understand the standard Africa set for themselves is so low. A country where Apostle Suleiman is existing and he has protocols and he can meet the president and he's seen as elder state person. A country where Jeremiah Omofofo is existing, you can tell me that you can basically give and take. You can tell me this country is finished in the term of information they are receiving. Do you think if Jeremiah Omofofo come to the UK, Jeremiah Omofofo will have 200 members? If he's going to have a 200 member, it will be Nigerians as well. Why do you think we don't have a mega churches here? Why do you think you don't see all these pastors coming to the UK to open churches and control members? Is because here you cannot talk rubbish and go scot-free. You cannot come on the altar and say you tell somebody at Heathrow to hand over a wristwatch that was paid for you. And let me tell you this story. I know I'm going somewhere. Let me tell you this story. I'm talking about misinformation in Nigeria, and I'm talking about truth. And this is what you need to understand. Apostle Suleiman was standing in front of his congregation, right? And then he told them a story that I know is far away from fetish, is rubbish. It can never be possible. He said he was standing in Heathrow one time, and a friend of his, so he bumped into somebody he knows, a very top business guy. Then the guy took him to a shop, and the guy bought him a wristwatch of 20,000 pounds worth of a wristwatch, and the guy paid. And then the guy's flight was about to go, and his flight is next. So the guy left the airport. And then he now took the wristwatch back to the shop where they bought it for him. And then he told the sales girl to give him a refund in cash. I want you to listen to this. That he will give 2,000 pounds to the lady. So the lady should refund the watch in cash to him, and then he will give 2,000 pounds to the lady. And the lady did that for him. Now, Apostle Suleiman said this on his altar with about 3,000 capacity church member. But this is lie. This is not true. Okay? But I want you to understand the amount of people sitting down in that congregation when this story was being told. In that congregation, there's a medical doctor. In that congregation, there's teachers that are teaching children. In that congregation, there are businessmen. In that congregation, there are graduates, people that have gone to school. In that congregation, there are youth, students, smart people, logical, people that are supposed to be thinking logically. There are a lot of people. Apostle Suleiman say all of this, and they all clap. Now, this is the question I keep asking Nigerians. Why do you clap for such story? And why do you return to that place? Because truth don't sell. And these pastors and these leaders, they have discovered the means to get to the people is not to tell them the truth. And this is quite difficult. Another story he gave was that he was in France one time, and then if somebody called him from France, oh, they will insult. Don't worry about them. Anybody that want to insult can go ahead and insult. It is what they've been conditioned, so you can't really blame them. So I'm not bothered. Okay, I'm not bothered. The money I make today, some of them will not make it in a month. So if you are there insulting, I just pity you because you don't. That is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, Apostle Suleiman also went ahead and said he was in Nigeria, and a member of his church want to travel from where he is in Germany to France, and the member want to go and open church in France. And then he told the member, and the member said, I don't have visa. I don't have visa to leave Germany to France. And when Apostle Suleiman was saying this, he was literally in a full capacity church. Big members, lighting, cameramen, plenty people, and he was talking like that, right? And then so many people listening to the story, and he was giving them a testimony of what his God has done. And he told the member, now take your bag, go into the airport and walk straight to the immigration, pass the immigration, and go into the toilet. Before the passport control, enter the toilet. Now, this is it. How are you going to pass through immigration? How are you going to even pass through the gate where the only person that can go through that door are people that have valid ticket to travel? We're talking about Europe. We're not talking about Lokoja. We're not talking about Nigeria, where you can bribe somebody and sneak in. We're talking about Germany, one of the toughest airports in the world. Apostle Suleiman I can play the video for those of you guys that think I'm actually making it up. Now, the guy entered the toilet, according to Apostle Suleiman, and then the guy disappeared. And the guy appeared in France, in a toilet in France. So the guy now walked out of France airport again, entered. No, I think I really want to hear it from him. No, this is serious. This is serious. And a lot of people think this is actually a joke, but this is not a joke. This is a reality. This is what the man say. And it's quite shocking to me, because when you think about it, sorry, those of you guys on YouTube, I just flipped my camera. Let me just plug my lap. This is serious, guys. I'm going to play it because I don't want to be like I'm the one saying this. Apostle. Okay. I'm getting the video, because we have to go back to the truth now. I'm going to go it. That's how I teach on my life. Thank you guys for joining. I'm looking for the video. I'm going to get it, because when I'm saying it, people that may watch this video in 10 years, they will think this is a joke. Why are you making things up? I want you to listen. Hold on. Let me start. For those of you guys on YouTube, you can be able to see the video yourself. If you are on YouTube, you will be able to see the video as I'm casting it. Then for those of you guys on TikTok, you can only hear the volume. My YouTube is at Mr. Ben. So if you want to watch it, is more than welcome to go there. But it's not necessary. I know many of you have seen this video before. Let's go. Let me play it.
He was saying, so Nasuati go out. Just 7 people before him, he was saying, so Nasuati go out.
Don't even think about life insurance until you've heard
I'm playing
this.
from YouTube.
You know, many people in the life insurance industry are absolutely.
Hi guys, I'm Gary Freeze, convener of the Free the Sheeple movement.
This one will be
just 7 people before him, he was saying, so Nasuati go out.
I'm gonna get the full video.
My sons. He lives in Germany. One day he was praying, and the Lord gave me a prophecy for a church in France. So he was praying for them. God said, no, you will go to France. He started laughing because he didn't have documents. Normally, if you have documents, if you don't have documents, you don't even go around the airport. If you have a guest, you see them off, getting close to the airport, you just turn back. Because the catch is very easy, just to put you on the next plane and bring you home. So he said, I don't have document. The Lord said, go. God said, go. He got to the airport. People were on the queue to present their passport, their ticket, and all. The Lord said, stay on the queue. He stayed on the queue. No document, no passport, no ticket. God said, move. He moved. Just 7 people before him, he was saying, so now so I say go out. 6 persons more. The Lord said, enter the restroom.
I want you to see that the church is fully capacity. There are full member. So it's full member capacity. There are full crowd. And you can see they were clapping. They were happy that the man is giving this Lamba story. Now, these are people. These are people's mother. In that church, there are pastors, there are teachers, there are nurses, there are medical doctors, there are people that have PhD in this particular testimony now. They are all sitting down there, and the man is telling them this story. And they were all saying, wow, and they were all clapping. The man is not telling them a fiction story. The man is actually telling them what happened between him and his God and his son, imaginary son in Germany, who wanted to go to France to open a church in France. This story is not a story that is written in the Bible. This is a story that a man that is alive, that we can call, is still saying it. Just about last year, somebody was telling this to Nigerians. Now tell me that this guy is supposed to be free. I want you to tell me, and there are millions of people that are following this man, that when we call out this man now, they will insult us and call us blasphemers. We are talking against men of God. And the man is giving them story that can only make sense. I don't know. It can't make sense to anybody. This is how gullible our society is. This is why you see a lot of people rising in the country. And when we are talking about it, people think, Mr. Ben, what do you think? I'm a deep thinker. Okay? And people like us, we are not supposed to make a lot of money. We can just get by. Now, you need to get to a level where money and influence is no longer your priority. When you get to that level where contentment has become the order of the day in your personal liberty, you can be able to say anything. Contentment. Then you know you are good at what you're good at, you are smart at what you're smart at, and speak on what you speak out, and speak the truth. Now, Apostle Suleiman is telling the crowd, a mega crowd, he's telling them these things, and it makes no sense. But people are listening to this. Now, when we talk about misinformation, tell me the meaning of misinformation. This is not just misinformation, this is brainwashing. This is literally brainwashing. Now, if somebody who sat in this church now come on my page and insult me, you think I will blame him? I don't blame him. I would think that this guy is already finished. So I can understand his situation. If he insults me, I'll be like, well, you don't have anything. Now, let's go and listen to how he commanded the guy to go into the toilet as the man approached the immigration control.
In Germany, enter the restaurant. Well, that's is this God I'm hearing saying I should go to France? As he entered the restroom, the Lord said, pray. He started speaking in tongues. Praying. When he opened his eyes, the Lord said, go out. When he went out, he was walking out of France airport toilet.
You need to see how people are shouting, hey, hallelujah, hallelujah, the Lord has done it. The Lord has done it. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. The Lord has done it. Hallelujah. Hey, hey, hallelujah. The Lord has done it. Hallelujah. Hey, hey, hallelujah. People's mother are sitting down here. People that have belly, that carry child inside their belly, are listening to this. How do you tell me that that child that is going to be born is not going to be stupid? Now tell me. Because the Bible says, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will definitely speak. What you are putting in is what you are going to bring out. If you are garbaging in rubbish, there is no two ways about it. You will garbage out rubbish. This is what is allowed in Nigeria. And the government of Federal Republic of Nigeria actually encourage this kind of thing. They want it to be, because they want to keep the people where they are completely glued to something else, irrelevant, nonsense. Why they operate on your economy, why they finished you. This is why I have a platform. I don't have a platform to have 1 million followers and I can open my nyash and shake my nyash for them and they laugh and gift me, or I can come here and lie to them. God have sustained me and provision have come from left and right all of my life. And I'm over 40 years old. And I definitely believe the chances that I will live another 40 years old is almost like 30%. The chances that in the next 40 years I will be here is like 30%. I'm not even guaranteed tomorrow. Nobody is guaranteed tomorrow. The only thing that is guaranteed in this life is now. None of us is guaranteed tomorrow. Now, I am afraid of tomorrow and I'm refusing to speak the truth today. And then I pie tomorrow. So when we come here and I talk, I don't talk from the side of my mouth that I am scared, I am not going to say this. I don't know how I am born this way. But I know this is not marketable. This is not sellable. If I have a church, I will not have a member. Just like I don't have a member on this forum now. People don't like it when you come here and tell them to use their God-given ability to reason, to think outside the box. They don't do it. They form an opinion over this microphone and they will tell you this microphone, this is where it stands. If you are telling them that you can actually hold this microphone, they will tell you no. The microphone is supposed to stand like this. You said no, you can maneuver it, you can put it in your pocket and you can talk and you see people can still hear you. They said no, microphone is supposed to stand like this. This is why at my age, I opened a TikTok account. I didn't open a TikTok account because I was so bored and I was looking for wealth at my age. It's good. There's money in TikTok and I encourage everyone to participate. Be a creator. Get involved. Practice what you learn how to do. If you are a teller, put your work on TikTok. People can patronize you. Teach people what you know, a little craft that you know how to do. If you know how to bake cake, do live stream baking cake for people to see so that they come and support you and support your business. It's very, very innovative. It's great. So I come on TikTok for what I believe, my passion in media. And I keep telling you guys, I did not start media today. I sat down 8 years ago and I decided to go and register a website and I call it Niger 24 News. The reason I call it Niger 24 News is because I know Nigerians like news. But what are they getting? Are they getting value for their year? Are they getting value for their money? So I registered this website, and God gave me some intelligent boys that were writing on the website, guys that were writing on the website. And what we put there is nothing but the truth. So we make sure that the little platform we have of maybe our news website, we're having about 700,000 visitors a month on Niger 24 News. The last time I checked, maybe sometime we go a little bit above 1 million visitors on the website. Sometimes we get 10,000 click. Sometimes we get nothing. So we did all of that so that we can be able to drop our own information out there. So when Apostle Suleiman is giving lamba like this, we can correct it in our own little platform. So that if 10 people come through and 7 people believe that lamba, the 2 people that we can make to question the logic behind what Apostle Suleiman, that is our win. That is what I did. Now, Apostle Suleiman is telling you, he asked a man to go into the toilet, and the man went into the toilet, and the man appeared in France. Now, listen again. Let him tell you when the man wanted to return back to Germany, what happened.
France. He prayed in Germany. He was walking out of France. You know your problem? What you have not experienced looks somehow to you. But those of us who have been privileged to experience a dimension of this is natural. You can disappear. You can disappear. Hold on. He was coming out of France airport. Was shocked. When he was done, time to go back. And he was asking, how do I go? The Lord said, how did you come? The supernatural.
Hello, how would you like to be financially free from just one deal? And what am I doing stood in the middle of a load of balloons? This one property rents out for £96,000 a year. One property. How many buy-to-lets would you need to do that? So why do most people not do commercial property? Well,
now, sorry about that advert. I'm watching from on a YouTube, so the ad will always popped up. So I just wanted to show you guys, because I was talking about the story, and I thought, why not play it? Why not play it out for people to see by themselves, to hear it? Because this man church is increasing. This man ride on, he said he had a private jet. This man travel with 20 police. The last time that this man traveled with police, there was an attack on his vehicle, and about 5 police were taken off. He was in complete armored car with his wife and children, and the police that were following him were in ordinary cars. And when the attack came, they took those police out. Nothing happened, no investigation. I don't think Nigerian police even invite Apostle Suleiman to go and give account. Why? When those people lost their life in that incident, the next Sunday, Apostle Suleiman came on the altar again and continued lying to the people. Now, can this happen in the UK? Can this happen in America? Can this happen in anywhere? Can this happen in China, in Iran, in Lebanon, in Ghana? Can this happen? No, I'm trying to question, can this happen anywhere? Just waiting for Mr. Logic to request. Where can this happen? But it happened in Nigeria. And the man is still lying every day. There's another one called Jeremiah Omofofo. That one live from now to tomorrow. Yesterday, that one was selling ticket to heaven. He said, this is the final gate burden. Everybody must buy it. Then there's another one called Pastor Enoch Adiboye. That one live from now to tomorrow. Now, this is the government agenda for Nigerians. That is the government agenda for Nigerians. As long as Nigerians concentrate on these people, the government will never fulfill their responsibility. Because if you are graduating now, you pray for God to give you a job. But if my child is graduating now, there's government of this country have proposed a project. And the project is going to employ people. They don't need to pray to God. They don't need to pray to God. They don't need to go to any man of God for first fruit. Then there's another one in Abuja called Paul Eneche. That one lie. That one literally dwell on lies. They basically took over the nations. And they are the people around the president. The president will visit their church. They will pray for the president. They will have dinner with the president. Those are the people that form what happened to the futures of your children. Now, when we talk about brainwashing, you have to really understand. The lies, they turn left, their lies. Now, if I see Apostle Suleiman will look me face to face. He will not lie to me. He will not do what? Lie to me. You know why? Because he knows his weight. I want to give you a short story. I traveled to Ilokoja, my state. And while I was in Ilokoja, I was in a hotel. And then I was sitting down. In the morning, I came downstairs to go to the reception. It was on Sunday morning. So when I came out, I went straight into the restaurant, the breakfast, because that place, they said there's breakfast for us. So I went into the breakfast. And then when I got into the breakfast, when I was going to the breakfast, I saw two mopo or two soldiers at the reception. I just moved into the canteen and sat down to eat my breakfast. And then I saw one man sitting down there. And then he was nice. He just said, hello. I'm like, hi. I enter. And you know, Nigerians, when they see somebody that come from abroad, for those of us that live here, it's not because of anything. The weather have changed our skin a little bit. Okay. So when we appear, and especially when we wear some cute clothes, people can easily dictate that this guy, neither he think I'm polished or he think I'm rich. Okay. The pastor, I didn't know he was a pastor. He was very, very gentle, slim, nice looking guy. And he was sitting opposite me. So we talk. Then we engaged. We started talking. He was laughing. He was telling me how we were just talking. And I was having my breakfast. I was having coffee and he was having his own. So when he finished before me. When he finished, he got up and came and have a handshake with me and said, have a nice day. And I'm like, have a nice day, sir. Bye. So he left. But the next thing I see, because the window of the kitchen, the restaurant, you can see outside the compound of the hotel. The next thing I see light. I see everybody running kata. Huh? I said, what's going on? Then I looked. I got up and I see people going into police mopo were in the front and the cars. And I came over and I said, who is that? That was Alex Ekweme's son, the former House on the Rock pastor. I don't know his name. And they told me he's the pastor. He's here to preach. I'm like, oh, the guy? He said, yes. I said, wow. But when I saw the guy in the canteen, he was humble. He was not acting those movies. He was not acting those movies. And he is going again to give other Nigerians in that poor community of Kogi another Lamba. This is why I insist that everybody must engage their head in time of information you receive, in time of what you take, in time of what you swallow, in time of what you believe. You must engage your head. Very, very important. Without doing that, we have a problem. And the government is counting on you to be more stupid, so that their responsibility are getting more minimized every day. I want to thank you guys for joining. If you want to request to come on TikTok, now it's time to request. Make sure you have 1,000 followers. If you don't have 1,000 followers, I will not bring you up. Unfortunately, I will have to choose to bring you up. You can request. If I choose to bring you, I'll bring you. But I'll have to take somebody that have over 1,000 followers first, so that we don't have a time waster here. As I told you, if you cannot teach us, you cannot destroy what we are learning here. And this platform may not be for you. If this platform is not for you, just do the decent thing and move on to the next life that you want to join. There are, at the moment, this is the hot hour now. There are so many people that have that are streaming now. Go join them. Look, spend 5 minutes here, 1 minute here. If it's not for you, move on to the next one. You're not going to come here and say, why are we saying what we are saying? You don't have that right to decide that. You have your phone. You can turn on your phone and say what you want to say. If I like what you are saying, I will support you. I will believe you. I will listen to you, and I will basically learn from you. If I don't like it, I will disagree with you, and I will move on to the next one. So that I am encouraging you to move on if this is not for you. And if you're going to come up here, make sure you're going to teach me something. If you're going to ask me a question, I am going to answer your questions. But above all, make sure you have something on your head. On your head. Because I have discovered one thing. Nigerians don't think. That is why we are where we are as a human being. Now, IBB came out and said what he said. Right? Nigerians are saying, oh, IBB has spoken the truth. What about if he's also lying for his selfish reason? What about if he's also lying? What about Obasanjo? Why didn't they say the same thing? Obasanjo is still alive. What about Buhari? Why didn't they say the same thing? Now we are wishing now that all of them come out and start supporting IBB and say, yes, this is what we did. This is what we did. But for years, we are meant to believe that Igbo were the problem of Nigeria. And there was so many hatred against Igbo people. Now the man has spoken. I don't believe him. I believe there's more truth to be said. But at least we are going on the right direction of actually reviewing the truth. I don't know whether he's selling books. Because when he said that the richest man in Igbo land, Atanze, gave him 500 million. I don't know why they are giving him 500 million. This man literally destroyed Nigeria. You see lies, a man that have lived all his life for lies is now being celebrated, is now being claimed, so that when he died, he have a history. In the UK, if you commit something like, nobody will remember you for life. Tony Blair, children can never be prime minister, all because he lied to go to war in Iraq. Their children can never be a prime minister in this country. It's impossible for him. It's finished. Maybe in the next 100 years. Because people remember, God does not serve the purpose of men on the planet Earth. He has appointed people to solve the purpose of men. And he has appointed thinkers. There are thinkers. And there are listeners. And there are destroyers. Now, the amount of information you are receiving, what are you doing with it? Thank you for joining, guys. Let me go and invite people in.
Hello, Mr. Ben.
Hey, how you doing, sir? Hold on, sir. Let me just get. I see a lot of people requesting. Let me just bring them up. I see a lot of people requesting. Let me just bring them up. I see a lot.
Good evening, Mr. Ben.
Evening, Mr. Logic. How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm good. And you?
I'm okay, sir. Omo.
Mr. Ben, good evening.
Evening, my guy. Cover. Good evening, Kelly. Good evening. How you guys doing?
Hello, Mr. Ben. How are you?
Thank God.
I'm okay, sir.
I know you brought me in the last person, but please permit me to. If you guys permit, if I can speak, but if not, then I will just wait.
1 second.
And then
1 second. Can you guys hear it? Let me ask the YouTube people if they're hearing, because I'm using a different mic, so hopefully they can hear it. Hold on. Hold on. Let me just clear something out. Stop sharing. Yeah, I think you can. Is it okay if you start? You can start. Go ahead.
Okay, so once again, thank you guys for at least allowing me to speak first, even though I was brought up to the last person. But yeah, Mr. Ben, if you can remember me, lately you and I we've actually not been agreeing on a lot of things, but which I get. I did not come here to insult you. I've never done that, but I'm just saying, like, we have a different
I
view.
saw you. It's Kelly Cyber now. I know. So
Yeah.
I brought you back on. I don't have
Thank
any
you, sir.
I don't have hatred, man. It's just that when you take it personal, I believe that you are disrupting other people that want to hear it. So
Of course, no, that's true. That's true. That's
yeah,
true. I
go
mean,
ahead.
yeah. So I mean, I've actually been listening to you for the past days, right?
Yes.
There are some things you've been saying which are very, 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 very important. I mean, they're very, very educative. I mean, even though I don't take all, but the ones you've been saying, they're very, very productive. So, like today, you were calling out some of these pastors and stuff like that. You get, which are very true because there are some things that if I come and tell you, you would not believe. I mean, grace is different, right? In the Bible, God says, like you said, He will appoint people to solve problems on earth, right?
Yes.
So in grace is different. So they are just things that these men of God will do that sometimes we might look at and be like, well, this is not correct. But from their own perspective, where they see things because of their grace, based upon what they say, and I don't feel like we should judge them. Now, you've called them out. To me, you called them out. I respect what you said, right? Because you said some points which me myself and I sat upon it. I pondered upon those points. To me, they don't really look like something very. But like I said, I don't have that person in me to judge a man of God because coming from that perspective, I envy. Like I envy them to at least feel the need to gather people that much to talk to people and people believe. Just like you said, there are a lot of PhD holders, women, mothers, fathers, and I mean that could even call these men of God out if they feel they need to, but none of them is saying anything. And again, to even think of the fact that he's not forcing these men to come to this church, he can only say, come to church, come to service, right? And these men are actually going to this church sometimes. It's actually for them to worship God because it says where two or more are gathered in the name of the Lord, right? It's in the place among that presence you get. So I think they're actually going there because in their mind,
Because
they actually
because they believe they are going to worship God there. Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much for that conclusion. Yeah, that's it. So they're not actually going there for Suleiman. So Suleiman might have his own interest or whatever, but it is for him, right? But left to the congregation, they're actually coming here to serve God. For example, you can make this platform and you say, you know what, I'll come to this platform to educate people, right? Now you come, but some people actually here that come just to talk ill statement against you. Anything you say which is not for them, they just go against you, right?
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Yeah, so that's just what it is. And again, that's another point. The second point that I want to call out is I went through your videos, right? Because I'm just like, let me not really be criticizing this guy. If he can light his camera and be coming up here, it means there's something that so I've been going through your videos and really going through your videos. And I kind of realized that you have some substantial things you talked about, but which I really like, right? But there was this one I saw you making videos about Pastor Toby. I mean, I am not judging Pastor Toby. I am not far from that.
You mean Pastor Toby Adeboyega of London?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have not. Yes, I mean, there are actually alleged things that have been coming out against him and all whatnot, right? So, I mean, you coming out here today to criticize this other pastor and then making a good video saying the good side of Pastor Toby, but I don't see you saying those things on this other pastor. I mean, even if this other pastor, Ayedepo and all these people, even if they're really wicked or they say some bad stuff, there are good things that they have done. But I don't see you call them out. But
I want you to stop there, please, because I don't know which video you watched on Pastor Toby that I said I am praising Pastor Toby. There is no video like that. If you can just tell me which of the video is it, the recent one, like because I know the video I posted about him. One of them is about on Instagram. It's about almost 1 million views, and he's basically angry about it. The one I tagged that the Free's best friend in London, and there's another one I posted today or yesterday where he was talking to young people, and I say, Pastor Toby, is that the one?
Yes, where you were actually saying he's giving out business ideas and stuff like that.
But did you listen to that?
Yes, I did.
That's actually not complimentary, you know.
No. I just want to ask you, because if you this is my question.
Sorry, sir. If you watch that video is not complimentary, you know.
No. This is my question, right? My question here. So my question is this: like, can you explain to us the need for you to do that video? I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I just want you to explain to us. And I'm glad that you brought me up so that I could ask my question for you to answer.
I'm glad you asked. So first of all, the video is out there. I think I'm going to play the video if I have my time now, and maybe people can know exactly what you are talking about, so that
we have just 10 minutes to actually stamp something.
Okay, you have it. Play it out, please.
Pastor Toby is teaching young people.
Now, can you start afresh, please? Can you start afresh?
One of the top is teaching young people.
That's me talking.
Pastor Toby is teaching young people how to make history. And one of the top secret of making history, which you can achieve in 10 minutes, listen to the Reverend Dr. President Pastor Toby Adeboyega of London. Let him tell you how to make. We have just 10 minutes. Just 10 minutes to actually stamp something in. We have just 10 minutes to actually stamp something in history.
Should I stop?
And if we can do it now, why wait? And someone say, how does that stamp something in history? The numbers of people here and outside just walking down, well dressed, well coordinated, well focused.
What did I do?
I think it is history.
You laughed over it.
What did I do? Stop it now and tell the people. What did I do?
You laugh, and that's where my question is.
So what did Pastor Toby say there that you understand? Can you stop it and tell them what message Pastor Toby sent out there?
No, he's just trying to tell people on how to make money.
So tell me. He said you have what? You have just 10 minutes to make history. He said people ask me how. He said, look at the way all of you guys dress smartly. That is making history. I laughed.
Correct.
So if you look at the face of the young people there, did you see any matured person in that congregation?
No.
So when you look at young people and you are telling them, a man that have a history of brainwashing young black kid in London, and you are telling them they have 10 minutes to make history by just dressing well, does that look realistic to you, sir?
No. So thank you very much for clarifying my question.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you.
sometimes you need to like watch people's reaction to a video. They might not even say anything, but their reaction tells you what they're saying. And that's exactly what Ben did there.
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, we don't know it all, correct? So I watched it and I was trying to get
that laugh means a lot. When he laughed, you should have understand.
That was body language, true.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Ben, thank you very much for the clarification.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Govard, go ahead. Govard?
I don't have much to say.
What do you have to
but,
say? We're not going to fight today now.
No. I was impressed. Sorry, I didn't greet. Good evening, everyone.
It's okay.
I was impressed on your topic today because you know, I've been preaching about diversity, like talk on other topic, even if we're still gonna talk on the main topic that you've tagged for long, but at least we should extend our voices to other areas. So on this topic, I think I was much impressed. So
you're welcome. Thank you. Omo, how far? Go ahead, Omo.
Okay. All right. Nice one, Ben. So, can you hear me?
Yes, very well. You're very clear and sound as well.
Oh, okay. So I did listen to your program, and I don't agree with most of the things you say, which is fine. That's your view.
Understood.
But I think
I say understood,
sorry?
Sir.
Yeah. So, but I think you debate objectively, and I like that. You know, a lot of us Nigerians don't know how to debate objectively. We attach a lot of emotions into simple debate and just complicate it. You know, I believe in debating with facts. So your facts might be different from my facts, you know, and we just agree to disagree, which is the essence of debating. You know, is to agree to disagree or to learn either way. And I like that. So especially with the issue of VDM, I don't agree with you, lot, but we're not talking about VDM today, so I don't want to bring it up.
You can bring it up. It's
but
fine.
The topic
on
for today.
On the topic, this is what we do on this platform. Is a free platform. So if you have anything that needs to be clarified, like the guy that came up now, he wanted to clarify something, and I will clarify it, and he got satisfied. So yeah, you can any topic anything that you wanted to talk, we can talk about it a little bit and then move on to the next agenda.
Okay. There's a particular topic that I think we should talk about, but I'll come to that in a minute. But the one you brought up today, which is about you made a valid point I agree with, which is some Nigerians don't know how to think for themselves, especially when it comes to religion. Religion, in my view, has been bastardized, especially from where we come from. And a lot of people have been flipping brainwashed. People cannot reason objectively anymore. They attach religion, they attach sentiment to simple common sense just because pastor said so. You know what I mean? And I just frown upon that. I feel our people need some reorientation, especially in the area of religion. I'm a believer, but I don't believe in pastors. I listen to preach to what they preach, but I do my own research. And one of the other valid things you mentioned was that God does not necessarily interfere in the affairs of men on this earth, and I completely agree with that.
Yes.
I totally agree with that, because if it wasn't so, we wouldn't be having stupid people ruling us, especially in Nigeria, for example. We would not, because God would have intervened and selected the best of the best to rule, but He doesn't, because He has given us free will to direct our own course. If we make a mistake, we make a mistake. If we mess up, we mess up. We learn from it and we carry on. You know, God does not necessarily intervene. God does not favor one person than the other. Everybody has the same capability. Everybody has the same inherent strength God has placed in us. Use it the way you want. And that's the essence of free will. And of course, you know, environment also matters. Some have environmental advantage than the other. Well, it doesn't mean it is God's fault, you know, because everybody just attacks God to everything. every little thing, by God's grace. Okay, yes, I believe in grace, but not be everything be grace.
Like for example,
you need to.
For example, you interview somebody in Nigeria. Say, can you be my driver? On the interview, you are asking him, you have to be driving my children to work or to school every day. And the first thing that average Nigerian will say, Inshallah, or by God's grace.
By God's grace.
When somebody who is capable of driving tell you by God's grace, do you supposed to hire that person? That means if you went and crash your children,
it's not sure.
If you go crash your children, let me say God no give and grace that money be that.
Exactly. You know the easy way I counter this thing is that.
And in the court of law, sorry sir, if you actually script the interview, and on the interview somebody said by God's grace, okay, and you script it or he recorded it and kept it, okay, and then he took your children the next day and crashed and pied them, and then you take him to court. In a court of law,
he can win the case.
He win the case. No, he can win the case. He's a winner. The case will be thrown out because the man told you when you asked him, "Can you drive?" He told you by the grace of God. Now you got meet God.
Of God. He has no experience. Exactly. Now you employ him. Exactly. So the liability is vicarious. Yes, the liability because now you employ him. You understand? So, and I think our people need this reorientation. Yes. You know, to be attaching unnecessarily religious sentiment or emotional sentiment to simple, objective debate is becoming very, very alarming. You know, it's becoming alarming. Yeah. Now, the topic I wanted us to discuss, I would like us to discuss.
What do you think about Apostle Suleiman standing on the altar and say this lambad in front of 5,000 people and said he told somebody to enter toilet in Germany and appear in France? This is something that
absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. When I've seen I've seen that video many times, and I'm like, and people are applauding this.
They stood up. People stood up and did like this. You have to watch the video
and say because he's a man of God. Man of God, my ass. He is no man of God than any other person in that congregation. You know, the same potential he has. Every other person has that same potential, or it's just because they have not developed it. It's as simple as that. Well, I don't disrespect so-called man of God, but I don't necessarily place them where people worship them like that. You are a man of God. I am a child of God too. The same potential you have, the same potential I have.
The same Bible you're reading is the same Bible I'm reading.
Now, the same Bible we read. Exactly. Now the same Bible we read. So respect yourself, I will respect myself. So I will not necessarily go about and condemn or speak against but I may not agree with them. I they argue with my own pastor for church. I go tell them, okay, this do not make sense. You understand? Where he gave a Bible, you know, looking at it whether scripturally or logically, it doesn't make sense. And I go argue them. You understand? And our people need to stop.
Do you know that?
Sorry, 1 second. Let me just round up. So, and I think our people need to start bolding up, to start getting bold, to challenge all these so-called authorities. This is the same attitude we need to carry to challenge our leadership in Nigeria, because everybody just assume another person will do it. Everybody has become a sycophant in a way or the other. Therefore, it is almost impossible for the grassroots to survive, for the grassroots to unite. Because as soon as you start something, now those sycophants goes first of all kill you before even the politician or the man of God kill you. You understand what I mean? It is your own mate, your own grassroots mate that will first of all kill you. Say, no talk like that, no talk like that. You are sinful, you go ahead, you go ahead. As if now then create hell, as if now then create heaven. You understand? Everybody just over spiritualize everything.
You say, make your point.
Let me just finalize it with one example. Yeah, I was also looking at a clip the other day, and this guy was saying, oh, the first time he came to UK, he could feel the sense, the spirit of whatever I was calling it, that everybody has to go through care work, this thing, and it's like, this country is doomed, this country is possessed. And they look at like they say, this guy now dead. every place you go, you are starting from scratch. If you have the correct qualification, especially in the UK, they will recognize you and put you in the correct place. If you don't have the correct qualification, you can't just fit in. Not in Nigeria, you did. You can't just come and expect to start working in a bank or to start being a project manager. No, you've got to start from the scratch, the same way everyone does. Because of that, you say, oh, the country is doomed. The country is filled with the spirit of depression. And they look at like this, say, you are an idiot. You just create, what they have done is to be creating this fear narrative in people, you know, and it works.
Such people, for me, I always say that they're on a trajectory of being a failure for themselves in their personal life, because personal development is very, very important. And that is what I advocate for: independent ability to process information. Like if somebody tell you, how are you? Nigerians are taking how are you like normal greeting, but when you tell an English person how are you, you really meant it. You understand?
Exactly. They will tell you what to happen that morning itself.
You meant it. And that's why Oyibo people always take their time to tell you how they are, because they are
exactly.
I asked my colleague and I said, how are you? And this guy told me so many things in 2 minutes that it will take me 5 years to tell somebody, a stranger, that kind of information. He told me about his baby mama. He told me about his child that is he has a sickness. He just told me everything within a second, because that is how he feel. But in Nigeria, people say, how are you? They are not interested in knowing your feedback. They literally just tell you, how are you? And that is it.
No, when they say, how are you? They say, we thank God.
You thank God. And you are not thanking God because you are broke, or you need an idea, or you need a direction. Now, go ahead, please, because somebody else, you wanted to say something earlier.
Yeah, I don't. One thing I wanted us, I would like us to discuss. I'll just mention it. If there's time for it, that's fine. There is a particular blogger, or I'll call it, or content creator, that is complaining about house prices in Nigeria. I don't know if you've seen that clip.
Wow, I've actually watched that guy clips a lot of time, and to be honest with you, I am interested in talking about that, because that blogger basically complained that he don't see other blogs advocating what he's advocating, and I think that is a revolutionary idea that guy has.
Absolutely,
because the way the guy is doing his content, he's a content creator with purpose. You can see the guy is going against the system, and that system is that. Do you know that the real estate business in Nigeria is relatively fresh, right? It's young as well. And if we allow what they are practicing now to continue, we might not be able to kill that monster once it develops. So I really like what the guy is doing, and I think we can talk about it as well sometime.
Yeah, I have my views on that. But if I say somebody wanted to ask me a question earlier, I think it's Gova
wanted to say so. I think he wanted to add to what you're saying.
Okay.
Gova, go ahead.
What I wanted to say is that, like you said, when you have the right qualification, that's someone who was, when you have the right qualification, you have to as well start from scratch, because the system would like to change you. The qualification you had, they don't know how you got it, because especially when the qualifications are from Nigeria.
Maybe the right value, I mean. Let me see the right value.
I think you still need to do some courses to back whatever you have.
So someone who's saying that UK is doomed, even if you are a medical doctor in Nigeria, when you get to UK, you still have to
retrain.
Go through some process before you start. So within that process, you can do some menial jobs to take care of your bills.
Exactly. It doesn't mean the country is doomed.
Yeah.
What people fail to understand is that the UK is a diverse community with unique opportunities. No job here is useless. You see a man sweeping the road, is even make more money than you. That's working.
There is
dignity in labor.
You see,
every single job is respected. Even the handyman makes more money. A plumber, someone will come in Nigeria, will look down on plumber. people who repair sink, who repair toilet. But those are the people even making the money.
Brother, those ones are even professional jobs. I mean, even those working in the warehouse, even if you are cleaning toilets, you earn more than a lecturer in Nigeria, even a dean.
What's the lecturer
how much
earning? How much is the lecturer earning? The lecturer
500K.
500K a year.
Ben, can I come in?
1 million. That's why they are asking young students to go and bring money so that they can mark them.
Maybe with blocking. So the problem we have is that Nigeria, most of us, we pray too much, because most of the things we are praying for are things that is supposed to be like government are supposed to take care of them. We disturb God too much. That's how we pray too much.
It's not only that we pray too much. We rely on that prayer too, which is not a bad thing on its own.
Too much.
I mean, relying on prayer is not a bad thing, but we prioritize rely on that on prayer rather than doing something very productive.
Yeah.
Because you go see a young boy who is like maybe in his 20s, he could just say, by God's grace, I will make it. Without trying to work, trying to get a job, trying to learn a trade. They could just believe, say, miracle will happen one day. Say,
they call it my helper.
Even on top of job, we're not legit.
No, my helper, not be the slogan now.
You know what the nonsense slogan that is common now that I dislike so much? Person who go help me, no go stress me. Absolutely disgusting statement. Seriously.
Even one of my favorite slogans in life is, God will not do for man what man can do for himself. Once you understand that
is it.
Yeah, the way is clear for you. If you understand that what God will not do for man, what man can do for himself, what you can do for yourself, God will not come down and do it for you.
Exactly, He has given us free will.
Can I chip in, guys?
Yeah.
If you don't mind.
Mr. O, go ahead. Mr. O, go ahead.
And if you can permit me just probably 2 minutes, just to wrap around this topic. So I've been trying to gain into this conversation with this VDM thing with Ben for the last 3 days, but
I'm so sorry.
The opportunity to come up. No. Maybe I don't know how maybe you might need to refresh your guest. Maybe every half an hour or 40 minutes, so just for new fresh up.
Another guest will come up.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea because you've only got $8 in there, and some people might be there for. I think just to refresh, bring in new ideas, and I mean, because anyway, just for you to think about that. Okay, so I'm caught in two minds with this VDM conversation you've been having for the last 3 days now.
Yes.
One, I was thinking, could it be the educational system that Nigerians are bereft of critical thinking without outsourcing their thinking faculty to a third party, be it the pastor, imam, or whoever? Because we are good in doing that.
Yeah.
Yes. In this case now, VDM, I think Nigerians have actually, their thinking faculty has now been, the baton has been handed to him to think for them, then they will now have an opinion. Then two, while I'm struggling with that, I'm thinking, is it the educational system that is not teaching people critical thinking, asking questions, analyzing, engage in debate? Because you see them come up on your stage, they can't engage in conversation rather than abuse and everything. And you see there on social media as well, the way they are attacking, they more or less turn themselves to bullies and monsters. And the second thing I'm battling it with again, I don't have the answers for this, by the way, is that Nigerians, I think we are battling with trauma from Nigeria, even though if you remove us and you put us in a sane society, if you don't unlearn, relearn, and learn new ways of doing things, you will still be stuck in Nigeria, even though you've lived in America for 30 years.
Well, that happens. That actually happens.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I see folks, even my friends, about this VDM stuff.
that have been living in America for donkey years, and they are still engaging in conversations that I can't believe someone that is well exposed, educated for that matter. In this case, I've got someone who has got a doctorate degree, still engaging in kindergarten conversation as per VDM, the way I see them on social media. The guy might be doing some good stuff. I agree with him. In fact, I did support him, to be honest, on certain things he's doing. Fantastic. But what he's doing is what I called, I think I've said it to you, Ben, before, the Robin Hood syndrome. And most of us, while we are young, we've watched Robin Hood. And what we know Robin Hood is that is taken from the rich and giving it to the poor. But if you switch it, it's still a thief. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes. So the good thing he's doing, fantastic thing he's doing, but if you want to look at it, he's still an armed robber. Do you get what I'm saying? Yes. So he's doing good, but we should not negate the fact that the good he's doing is actually either maybe killing some people, doing some stuff. That's the Robin Hood syndrome. There is actually a course on that on its own, which is no matter the good things you've been doing and everything, if you don't do it the right way, I mean, that stuff, that little part is still questionable about you. I think that's what, that box is where VDM find himself.
And Mr. O, you are absolutely very right. It's just like if I break it down to a simple layman terms, it's just like if someone is an armed robber and he steals money from the vulnerable, from the weak, or whatever, he steals the money and use that same money to go and give the widow, to give the helpless, to give the homeless, does that make that person a good person?
And that's what is happening in our various churches as well, by the way. Just to you steal money as a civil servant, you go to the church, you give them 10% of the tithe and offering and everything.
Exactly.
So that links it perfectly. So with this VDM stuff that we've been talking about, he's doing great. To be honest, the little part that is questionable, people still need to ask questions. I think that's the box Ben falls in. We cannot give someone this free reign to more or less turn themselves to larger than life, that questions cannot be asked.
Well, Mr. O, can I just come in there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I think one of the, first of all, I think Ben should put some sort of caveat in some defamatory comments, for his own protection. But I leave that for him. Anyway, I think one of the things we lack as Nigerians is accountability. We hate to be asked questions. I mean, I remember I'm a project manager, and I was helping somebody to do some work back in Nigeria, and I requested for a certain document from the local authority, and the guy said, "Well, it's going to cost me about ₦1 million," and I just said, "Okay, well, break it down for me," and this guy just vexed. I want to see your money. I want to see your money. I said, I'm the one paying you this $1 million, and I'm just asking you to break it down. So my point is, we lack accountability, seriously, and that is one of the problems that we are facing at the moment. Now, VDM case, I don't agree with everything he's doing, but I agree with majority of it. And although even VDM himself needs some sort of education. You see, when to become an activist, it's not just wake up one day and start making noise. It requires strategy. It requires education. It requires you to understand the law of the land. It requires you to understand how to relate to people. It requires communication strategy. All of that sometimes is missing. You could just see person just stand up, you just shout. Or you might want to agree with their intention. I mean, their intention might be well-meaning. However, the way they go about it might be completely, absolutely wrong. Yeah. And that applies to VDM in some areas. Is modeling into things it shouldn't get involved with. But in some areas, I quite support what he's doing. I understand it is objective. It might be dodgy, but so far so good. I'm not seeing anything dodgy in what he's doing. I like the fact that he fights for the people and he gets results. A lot of other activists know they get results. You go just see and say, "Oh, this guy." At the end of the day, you not hear anything again. But I don't totally agree with you.
Let me now summarize what you've just said. What you've said is perfectly fine. However, we should not become the monster we are trying to fight again. In which case, this army of supporters are now turning to bullies and terrorists online.
Exactly.
That any form of questions and accountability, if I want to use your word, they find that as an attack on the person of VDM and the attack. Now, what they've taught, and this is the sad thing about the monetization industry, that food is put in table on the bloggers account. Now everybody is now scared to actually ask questions about VDM because its supporters will shut down your page. Someone came onto Ben's line to say, you know what, we're going to report your page and your account will be closed on TikTok, simply because Ben was asking questions. I think it's not good for the industry of social media, because the currency of social media is likes, share, and support. And now people and views. Thank you, for correct. And views as well.
Where can I interject something a little bit?
Yeah, I'll mute my mic. I think I've said enough. Thank you,
Mr. O. I really like what you said. Please leave your mic on, please. It's fine. You asked a very important questions once when you said that when you said if it's the education system or what is it that makes our people. It's not about VDM. VDM is a product of Nigeria.
The system.
It's a product,
exactly.
It's a product of the system. It's a product of the doctrine that we have got used to so much. And one of the most important part of human being is our brain. And that is a brain box. If I buy a G-Wagon right now and the brain box have a problem, then I can as well start thinking of throwing the car away. That is very, very important. It costs a lot of money to replace. And the more we protect it, the better it is for us. Now, I want to use China as example. The ideology that is being sold in China is different than what is sold in Nigeria. In China at the moment, the state dictates what the student learn. The state makes sure they learn something that is contributing to the society, and the state makes arrangements for them. Now, I think in Africa or in general, because Europe is the same thing as well. That is why you don't see any pastor's wife that relocate to the UK and they got a job in a care setting, even as a nurse. You don't see them praying for anybody in their workplace, because there is a system in place that literally tell you what you can do, what you cannot do when it comes to people's brain. Because once you bring that adoption into the system, what you are doing is that you are diluting what is tested and proven. For example, in China, they don't allow churches. Nigerians live in China. I was in Guangzhou for 3 months at one point. On Sunday, Nigerians gather in somebody's flat to worship God in silence. There is no noise. And that is why you don't see all these Nigerian pastors traveling to China to go and do crusade, because nobody will welcome you. It's very, very important. In short, you will not even get the license or the visa to go there once you declare at the embassy this is what you are going for. Because they believe that once you are coming there, you are coming to tap with their brain. And once you tap in somebody's brain, it's very, very difficult. It's become hereditary. They will transfer it to the next mugu, to the next child they have. And this is very difficult to contain. In my own opinion, VDM as a person, he just inherited what the system offered. My problem is not per se with him. My problem is I want to have the ability to tell Nigerians to filter what they are listening to. Unfortunately, the confrontation I have faced in the last few weeks has been unprecedented. As I said when I began, I have over 100 and something messages on my inbox, people sending me abuse, calls, threatening, come to Nigeria, we will pay you, you cannot mess with VDM. And I'm wondering, what are these people onto? Who gave them the Kool-Aid? Like every good product need to be tested and tried. And if at the end of the day, what I am saying happen not to be what it is, then I'm out. But if it is what it is, then allow it not to stand. Unfortunately, I have had a lot of people here, people that speak good English, they will come up here, they will tell me, Mr. Ben, you can change the topic. You don't have to talk about this guy. He's doing such a phenomenon, but his character is no good. They don't talk about. I'm asking myself, why can't we talk about him? Why? All of the opinion this guy expressed is opinions of others. It's a matter of others. What stopped us talking about him? They said, no, you can't talk. We are going to report your account. I see that as a lazy thinking. It's very lazy to get to that level of myopic. And that is why I thank God for when I see people like Mr. O, and I see when I saw Omonen, even Cover that came now. I like people that can engage, that are able to filter rubbish from the messages VDM is transferring out there. Because I tell you something, the biggest tool is media. The biggest tool is information. What are you hearing? What are you doing with it? One little direction can change a whole perspective of a person. It's very, very important when somebody tells you this person is a thief and they tell you this long story, use your time to verify it within yourself. Don't even ask anybody. That ability to checkmate what you are hearing is within you. Unfortunately, that part of our brain has not been touched. People don't want to touch it. They want to hear what I say. And then that's what they're going. If anybody is on this platform and you change your opinion about VDM because of what I tell you, you are wrong. I want you to change your opinion or solidify your opinion based on what you can see, what you can think. Let me not be the one to direct you to leave him. Let everything I tell you about him, let it just be a little extra. You make the main decision. Be right with yourself. And this is the problem that we have. And we don't give feedback. A pastor will stand on the pulpit for 2 hours and tell everybody lamba and no feedback. The pastor come up and then everybody now, it just don't make no sense at all. Yesterday we have, yesterday we have somebody on this platform here. His name is Ati. He came up here yesterday and I'm going to call him out on that. Now we're talking logically and I threw a question to him and I asked him a question. The guy is a strong supporter of VDM. And VDM says something I completely disagree with about this Natasha and Akpabios. Because when VDM analyzes, VDM use some words there that I know that word is purpose. That word is weapon. When he said Natasha committed gross misconduct, I said, hold on a second. Where did you get that word from? And I know what is behind that language. It's not ordinary, right? And I know what that language can cause because language can be turned as a weapon. Now, we are having a disagreement on that yesterday, and a guy came up here, and the guy agreed that what the lady did in the chamber was right. The lady was reading the document. I'm like, okay, now tell me, what has the lady done wrong? He said the lady used the word to the Senate president, you can't shut me down. I mean, was that the thing that was wrong? That will warrant anybody, any opinion maker, to call that woman a gross misconduct and stubborn. The guy could not come to terms with that reality. I now throw an example to him. I asked him, where do you base? He said he based in Germany. I said, if you get a job and you signed a contract with your company And in that company, there are do and do not do. And one of do not do or do is that when there's a complaint against you, they will call you for disciplinary hearing first. And after disciplinary hearing, where the company hear your own side of the story, the company management could now make a decision on you. Without that disciplinary hearing, they cannot make a decision based on their own constitution. He said, yes. I'm like, now tell me, if the manager wanted to fire you without giving you the opportunity for that disciplinary hearing, which is a fundamental right that you sign, do you know what the man told me, sir? Because the man does not just want to agree that VDM was wrong. The man say he will not talk back. I say, even when you know your right has been trampled upon, he said, yes, I dropped the guy. But yesterday, today I was processing it. I now understand the danger of information. And that is why I am begging people. I am begging people to engage with their head. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Ben, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, as of that, VDN, I think if you really look it well, you see that as if during the 2023 election, if you see the people that found the obedient, I can as well tell you 80% of that obedient, they are the supporter of very dark man.
Well, where did you get that data from?
Let him speak, sir.
Allow me to talk.
All right, okay. Sorry.
When I'm saying that 80% of Peter Obi, they are the same people supporting very dark man. I'm a very big fan of very dark man. So if you watch it very well, you see even before now, you see that the government will be telling Peter Obi to control his fans. Because some will tell you they are bullies. So as of VDM, it will be very difficult for VDM to control these people. Because at the end of the day, VDM is not the person supplying data to these people. So I think as time goes on, this heat will come down, because if you watch now, when for the past almost since the general election, over 2 years, going to 2 years now, you see that the obedient are no more active as before. So everything have died down. So I believe that is the same way this of VDM fans insulting, going to people comment section, bullying. I believe everything will come down. So that's for that. For the Christianity aspect, I think 80% of Nigerians that go to church don't even know the reason why they go to church. For example, I will also tell you that those 80% of people that go to church in Nigeria, if they are opportunity to leave Nigeria today to another country, none of them will step their foot into church. None of them. So the reason is this: they were grew up this way. So it's very, very difficult to live in Nigeria without attending church, because everybody is looking for miracle money, according to Pastor Suleiman. If, for example, during the time Pastor Suleiman made that comment that there is a miracle money, there is anybody that can counter him that we want you to prove it to us. How can you receive a miracle money? Because two things is involved. Before you get any money in your life, either it is mistakenly sent or somebody do azar. In the other way, they call it Yahoo. So nobody, even when somebody mistakenly send you money, the person will cry out that I mistakenly send money to social account. So if, for example, Pastor Suleiman member where there was a both somebody to tackle Pastor Suleiman, there is nothing like miracle money, because even the Bible said that work without prayer without work is dead. So I believe that I believe that if Pastor Sinema was counted at that, Pastor Omoto Fifi will not have that courage to repeat the same thing.
Okay, I want to stop you there, please, because nobody, and I keep saying that most of the thing that happen in Nigeria is a product of the system, a failed system. A failed state is a state where non-state actors are taking proactive role in the state functioning. What VDM is doing is a recipe as a result of a failed state. A failed state happen where people, militias, are taking arms to protect the community. That is what is happening in Nigeria. A failed state happen where the responsibility of the government has been handed over to private individuals. That is a failed state. Now, there is nobody that could have contained this nonsense than the state government. I expect EFCC to arrest the man immediately and disgrace him and say, what nonsense are you talking about? What miracle money? Or come and prove us where the miracle money comes from.
Exactly.
How does it happen? So that is where the state stepped in. But unfortunately, the state are rather very happy that this kind of experiment is going on in Nigeria. Once a pastor pray for you that you will receive a miracle money, your ability to ask the government to fulfill their responsibility have reduced.
Exactly.
Because you're now expecting government to do it. You're now expecting God to do it for you.
Yeah.
Once pastor tell you that God will heal you of your cancer, your ability to call the local government or the Senate to provide a cancer scanning center in the community have reduced because you are praying to God to cure you of cancer or not to allow you to have cancer. But unfortunately, we refuse to understand that cancer is in everybody's body. It can come out, it may not come out for the rest of your life. So until we get to a level where the people understand their worth, as long as they keep on depending on God above, who I have already said that is not in a fear of governing men. And that is why I personally define God, which is letter G, as government, then O, letter O, off, that is off, D as the day, government of the day. If I take my knife right now and I need to harm somebody, okay, no matter how much you call God, if I can overpower you, I will take you out. Okay, but the only thing that can save you there is the government of the day, the state police, the government police, or if anybody is there to save you. These are the reality. There's somebody that comes up now on TikTok that has been making a lot of comments on the comment section. His name is Soft Love. I brought him up to come and have his say, but I believe that this conversation is a little bit too heavy for him. Soft Love, your comment have been coming. I want you to come and have your say on the platform if you are sure of yourself. Insulting people on the comment section is not ideal. And as I tell you, I understand Nigerians very well. Nigerians like alagidi. They don't like, if you come with peace, they will never accept it. You have to come with war to defeat them. I'm a street boy to the letter. If you're talking about being street, I don't think they born you before I start street life. So I didn't just go to school or being a versatile traveler. I am also a very stubborn guy. I know be ajebo. I am complete ajekpako.
Mr. Ben, can I come in?
Yeah, come in, sir.
Yes, and I agree with you totally on that one. You see, what like I said earlier in my opening comment was that some of us Nigerians lack the ability to debate objectively and logically.
Mm-hmm.
Everything are agidi. As soon as you disagree with them, you are part of the problem. They automatically make you look like part of the problem or part of the complaint. You understand? And whereas sometimes they don't have anything to offer in the debate. Like you said, there's another guy in the comment section that is making so much noise there. I'm reading his comments too. You can see that he has nothing objective to offer.
That's why I want to bring them up. I actually intending to bring them up. And Logic Man, if you see any of them, bring them up. Let them teach the house what we are getting wrong. Let them ask questions. Very, very important. This is called brainstorming. We want a better country. We want a better society. We want a complete civil liberty where people have freedom to speak. I am not VDM that post something and lock the comment section against you. We open it for you. We invite you to come up and speak. So you can come up and talk and explain yourself, the rationale behind your comment. It's very, very important.
And like you said, I was just trying to finish my comment. And one of the things I do not agree with VDM, I'm a supporter of VDM by the way, is that in as much as he cannot control his crowd, he should also demonstrate to his fans that bullying is not acceptable, in any shape or form. Yes, I believe so. I think it is one of the things he should do. However, like you said, Nigerians like Agidi. The people that are not his fans are also coming as bullies. Therefore, and I'm not encouraging bullying, therefore I suspect in order to resist bullying, the VDM fans, some of the VDM fans, because I'm a VDM fan, but I'm not a bully, some of the VDM fans resist with bullying too, which is counterproductive because you cannot treat a wrong with a wrong. It doesn't make sense. And this is one of the narratives these state actors need to be putting out if they mean well for Nigerians, because ultimately we need to be united in the grassroots to fight a good cause. If we are not united, then our politicians will continue to recycle the same system to us. This is what the politicians rely on, this divide and conquer, that as long as you don't unite, they will continue to recycle the same product, the same system that is failed over and over and over and over again to us. And like you said, VDM is a product of the system. A lot of Nigerians are academically sound, but not necessarily educated, because there's a slight difference between the two. And if you try to say, and people will say, oh, no, not lying, they say, no, being academically qualified doesn't necessarily mean you are informed. You might just be narrow-minded and just stay in your hole. It doesn't mean you are aware of the system. Like, for example, I was debating with some people about the guy shouting that real estate is overpriced. And you could realize that some people don't even understand basic economic principles. How are you going to debate with those people? As soon as you are against them, they say, oh, you are part of them, you are a developer too. I'm like, I'm not a developer. But you need to understand basic economic principles before you can start condemning people and saying, oh, no, this one did it. But that is where we are. Some of us can't even go back to simple Google to research before they come on social media and open their mouths, And if you try to correct them, they turn you to a villain. They say, oh, no, you're part of them, you're part of this. Whereas we are all fighting for the same cause, but in different ways. As submission.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, man.
Go ahead. Are you going? Go
ahead. I love, there is one statement you made. You said you are not maybe depriving people for not taking VDM as whatever. And what you are doing is to make them ask questions, logical questions, to filter the good ones and the wrong ones. You see, I love that statement. This guy is gone, but maybe he might be on the comment section. I don't know. He was given statistic that he is not sure of. He has no idea of. Coming here to call is like
80%.
Calling P2B on this platform like is not normal. You understand? Because he's saying that 80% of P2B supporters are bully. Is the same way we are saying that VDM supporters are bully. It's like
50% low battery.
You are using like P2B. Like, do you know that P2B has no control over his supporters?
I'm going to slightly agree with you. At the same time, present my point. Do you think that most of VDM supporters are not P2B supporters?
Yes. Let me be frankly speaking. I don't know if those supporters.
That's the answer. I don't know.
VDM are supporters of P2B, so I shouldn't say what I don't know.
Okay, this is what I am going to say with my research and with my understanding. I have been a blogger, and I'm a blogger during the P2B. I am a diehard supporter of P2B to be the president. I don't believe in P2B as a person. I believe that the two candidates that stood, P2B was more better off than Jagaban in terms of intellectual capacity, in time of age, in time of goodwill, and also the histories of management without controlling. So that was the reason I supported P2B. I did it to the national level. I am the one that bet $10,000 with P2B that time. If you guys remember, I'm Mr. Ben that put $10,000 out to support P2B with Deji Adeoju, the current VDM lawyer. Deji is actually my own friend and a Kogi State indigene, just as myself. And then that went national on the TV. P2B commented about it, that we should keep our money. I did that because I believe in the agenda of P2B as a man that I know that he has stood for fairness and management of resources. And considering what APC has given to us for 8 years, it is a travesty to see P2B standing and then I'll be voting for Tinubu. That is why that's why I choose P2B. When I choose P2B, I tell you something, it's at my own cost. Because when they are launching Tinubu's movement in the UK here, Dr. Lee and the current a lot of people, I'm not going to name them, in the Tinubu government now, they are all in Aso Rock. One of my friends that would normally go and support APC people together in London, he's currently a director of a ministry, a board director in a ministry that is $4 billion budget a year. I can tell you this is a guy, I have his picture, is my guy, I have his phone number, we talk. And in the Aso Rock alone, I know at least 4 people that are working with this president. And they were all in this UK here when they launched that, the first time board that they put all over the UK. Because Tinubu launched his movement in the UK for the first time. Now, when I did that campaign for P2B, they called me that this is the right time to dump P2B. I refused. I support P2B all the way. But when Tinubu took the election, I gave up because there's nothing I could do. I'm not going to stand there and start protesting, give us our mandate, give us our mandate. I know when mandate is taken, mandate is taken. That's Nigeria for you. So we moved on. So during the time of supporting P2B, I had a platform called Never Looter. I have about 100,000 people on it on Facebook. And I also have a lot of people on Instagram as well, called Never Looter page. That page, I use it a lot to campaign for him. Then I have Nigeria 24 News website. Free of charge, I use it to campaign for him. I did not collect money from anybody. I did everything I was supposed to do media-wise to make sure I promote his agenda. When people were saying that P2B supporters were insulting, I never go into anybody's inbox to insult them.
Exactly.
But then I begin to study it. And I'm going to be honest with you. I study the movement and I see the segment of people that were very, very radical. When I mean radical, they will give you insult. You will feel like you want nothing. And if you remember, am I lying? So let me because my point is going, even if you want to deny what I'm saying, you will come to realization that actually Ben is right on this one. And the whole state was saying, I was happy that we were able to attack people, but at some point, I'm thinking, but this is overbearing. And I know that people were complaining that P2B supporters were inboxing them, we are insulting them, and it was just insult. Your father, your mother, you be this, you be this, you be this, and it was crazy. Even Tinubu himself made a comment about it, that he doesn't watch internet anymore. It's too much for him. Lai Mohammed was doing like this to save anything when they were in power. Now, when Tinubu came in, the first 3 months of Tinubu, I studied the movement of P2B. Then I see them wiling up. Then I see other people that were having big pages that were promoting P2B. They started to post something else, a different content. And that come as a result of P2B not ready to fight. And they were not funded as well. I tell you something, those bloggers were not funded. and then they need to make a living because they live in Nigeria and they have the blog. They have 200,000 followers. The more they post, the more they get something, and they're not going to be repeating P2B every day. So they begin to put comedy skit inside their feed, and they change rapidly. There's a guy called Justice Crack, and so many of them. Everybody just wily out. Justice Crack is here heavy obedient, so I'm not going to lie about it. He's on Twitter as well. Everybody start winding up. I want to tell you something. When the government of Tinubu came in, there's one thing that Tinubu did. Tinubu, first of all, studied the social media, and Tinubu understand the ability of Nigerians to criticize. And one of the platforms they use is social media. And how many of us are here now? How many of us can tell me now Tinubu have a problem of social media today?
I don't think so.
I want at least 4 answers.
How do you mean? Well, how do you mean whether I have a problem?
Does Tinubu think social media is his biggest problem today, that he need to contain it in terms of criticizing his policy?
I don't think so. I don't think he pays more attention to it anymore.
No.
He said it himself. So
and also you can see that Nigerians are no longer using that liberty that we used to have to concentrate on the government and finish them with our mouth. We didn't have it anymore. It was gone. So there was something that intellectually introduced into the atmosphere of Nigerian market space. And e.g., the bloggers are well empowered now. And then you have VDM. And I'm going to be brutally honest here. What VDM is doing, VDM may not understand what it means for the government, but government do understand what it means for them. You really need to understand this. And as I keep saying, it looking to me like he was invented, because obviously all of the topic that matters, where government is supposed to be touched and hold responsible, somehow VDM spin it into literally waterless topic.
Can I come in there?
No. So let me elaborate my point, because if I just say it like that, it will look like I'm capping. When I say this, I say it in all honesty, because when VDM comes up and play out scenario where government is supposed to be targeted, exposed, and he made it about somebody's personality, I think is counterproductive.
Okay.
That's what I want to say. So I wouldn't say 100% P2B supporters are behind him, but I will agree with that 80% that a lot of P2P supporters are following VDM. And they are fervently, they are the one that comment most. They are the one that insult most. I took my time last week to go into all the blogs. I went into the Rattle Gang, and I see people that have like 5,000 followers, 2,000 followers, and I pop to their personal profile. You will always see P2B. And if you go through their picture, you will see P2B, you will see P2B, you will see P2B movement. It's not about P2B. I'm not blaming P2B for this, because P2B never asked anybody to insult anybody. It was just a movement that happened. But that movement has been watered down. We are no longer an opposition. We are now opposing against each other. And this is counterproductive, in my own opinion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Let me just finish up, please. Thank you very much, Mr. Ben, for clarifying your own stand on that. I appreciate it. And what I'm saying is that, okay, now, you know, as a Nigerian, most of the Nigerians, because we have mouth, we can bully. Most of us, we can bully. Let me not say, I don't want to count myself out, but I don't bully, but let me put myself in that group. So, you know, if, like you talked about Apostle Joseph Suleiman, do you know that they have supporters as well?
Yes.
Of course,
do you think those supporters will come and clap for you while you are talking about Suleiman?
Some of them are bullies too.
Wait, so those people too are also P2B supporters as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about that?
You mean when you come to Apostle Suleiman?
or all
any
these
man
men
of
of
God.
God you've mentioned.
So they will also have a fan.
Yeah, so they are also put to be.
Now, in the right perspective, this is how we put it now. Those people, they don't go around insulting people the way that we have seen so far on the movement of P2B and also on this Rattle Gang. You have to really, and I know that this is very uncomfortable conversation to have, but I am giving you the assignment now within yourself. Go and do your own research.
Okay.
It's very important you do it, and I promise you it won't take you 24 hours to come up with an agreement with what I'm saying.
I will do that and give you feedback.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Can I come in? I don't want to forget what I want to say.
Yes, sir.
So my own take is that I don't necessarily agree that most of Peter Obi's supporters are now VDM supporters. Although coincidentally, I am a Peter Obi supporter and I am a VDM supporter too. You understand? Coincidentally. But however, I don't agree that the majority of Peter Obi supporters are also VDM supporters. It could be, but I don't have any data to support it. But what I do know is that Nigerians are bloody oppressed. Nigerians are bloody frustrated and they need a let out. Now, every let out they see, whether it is a VDM or it is a Peter Obi, some of them just latch on it. It is about the movement, not necessarily about the person. Do you understand? So some Nigerians just need a way to let out that stress and then latch onto it. And I'm not surprised if majority of Peter Obi supporters are now VDM supporters or any other anti-government, not necessarily anti-government, but anybody giving them some sort of hope, whether a pastor or a VDM or the guy criticizing house prices. Just let me land on this, please. So Nigerians need some sort of let out, and that is happening. And these people know that. That's why government itself, you can see that, like you said, Mr. Ben, government is not necessarily paying attention to social media anymore because people are doing it for them. People are doing the job for them. You know, they don't necessarily need to pay attention much, apart from when you say something grossly defamatory or, grossly criminal, they get involved. Otherwise, they just let, everything just play out by itself. Also, I think the strategy of VDM is slightly different from the strategy of Peter Obi. Peter Obi is a political element within the state. VDM, I think his strategy is just to address some social issues. I don't think VDM is politically educated enough to tackle political issues or economic issues. You understand? It might be modeling into it, but I don't think he has that vast experience to tackle legal issues, political issues, or economic issues.
Can I just interject a little bit, please? Allow me to interject, because this is something. Do you know how intellectual we are speaking tonight? And this is why you don't see crowd here right now, because for me, this topic is a little bit above pedigree of some of these guys that come here to insult, because this is the kind of platform that we need. People in America, Canada's, we can come in the evening like this and spend our time deliberating the way forward instead of constantly insulting. And what you say there, that VDM might be politically naive, that is the danger of VDM that I am calling out. Because when you are politically naive and you have such a magnitude of people, the state can easily manipulate you and get hold of you. And once they get hold of you, they may not necessarily offer you money. They give you that kind of assurance that is visible, but at the same time not visible. You can just always count on it, that you can misbehave, and that will restrict you from uttering any word that looks against the state. Now, I want to ask the House a question. How many of you believe here right now that if you are in the Tinubu cabinet, do you consider VDM as a threat to your policy?
No.
I don't think VDM is a threat.
If I may retrace,
no threat.
I've not finished my submission, Mr. Ben, before you interjected.
Ben, I want to remind the House. I want to take us back a little bit.
Just a minute. I'll just submit, and then you can.
I hope you remember what I said now, though.
Yeah, I do.
The question I asked is very, very important. I asked a question. Let me repeat it again. If you are in the government right now and you are working for Tinubu in the media, or for example, Bala, do you think they see VDM as a threat to their policy?
Never.
The answer is no. My answer is no.
Okay. My answer is also no, because if we go back during the Buhari regime, you could see when bloggers post about what's happening in Nigeria, if there's economic issues, you see Lai Mohammed will come out and defend those posts. But today, nothing like that. We're not seeing anything, even though the country is going haywire. Who is coming out to defend those things? Who is coming out to speak? It's VDM. And instead of VDM addressing issues, it will be backing systematically defending the government.
I don't agree with that.
And that's why we don't have a Minister of Information now. Who is our Minister of Information, if I may ask you? Can you tell me?
Well,
can you tell me who is the Minister of Information in Nigeria today?
Well, the person doing that job originally has resigned.
Nigeria don't know him.
Wait now. First of all, Mr. Ben, let me answer your question.
Sorry, because this is where the house become active. Now, just imagine the current government that I can tell you categorically that 85% of Tinubu's policy is anti-people, is anti-Nigerians. There is nothing working. It is well proven. Our recession.
I don't think we should digress.
Yeah?
I think we're digressing.
No, I'm not digressing. What I'm saying is that the policy,
I have a question.
the policy of the government is not favorable to the people of Nigeria. We have witnessed this for 8 years of Buhari when he was implementing some radical policy that is not in the favor of Nigerian people. We said we should exercise patience. Now, that patient has turned into Jagaban, and unfortunately, we have Jagaban that we can see his policy is not leading anything. It's not making any change. The hunger, the recession is still on. And that for me, I believe this is the time that civil society is supposed to come up and be more active. And this is not personally against VDM anyway. I'm just saying that if I am in the government and see what the work that VDM is doing, I think I would be very happy to have him doing that. And if I have opportunity to add 2 million followers onto his followers, I will willingly go and buy 2 million followers and give it to him to keep doing what he's doing.
Or not.
Mr. Ben, please, I have a question for you.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
Or the government might not necessarily do anything. They might not do anything. They might just leave the space for VDM and some other social player to just distract the people.
Divide and rule.
Divide and rule, exactly. Because there are, as we are now, there are millions of people that are supporting VDM. There are millions of people against it. That in itself is a distraction for the grassroots. So, as to your question, the Tinubu cabinet, I don't think they see VDM as a threat. In fact, they might see him as helping them to distract the grassroots. That's one. Secondly, I think VDM.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Well, I think VDM, I don't think he's politically well educated to dabble into political issues. He can make certain comments. He can make some here and there comments. I think what he's good at, is the social issues that he's trying to solve. And I think he should stick to that. If VDM start dabbling into political issues or economic issues today, he will get into trouble. And the government will quickly bring him down.
But VDM has so much influence that it will be an unfortunate if he can't dive into the political. So he can
if he dabbles into political issues,
I understand. They will arrest him.
Yeah. I've not finished my point. So, in my view, if he dabbles into political issue too deep, they will bring him down. Simple as that. Also, at the moment, VDM is bringing some sort of value to our people, whether we like it or not. It's bringing now value is subjective. You might not see that value, but it is bringing value to some huge amount of Nigerians, and that is why he has supporters. People, not only that is delivering those values, people are also hoping on him. You need to realize that Nigerians are some Nigerians are hopeless right now. They need a way to let out stress, and VDM comes and they latch onto it. If a pastor comes, they latch onto that. If one miracle man comes, they latch onto that. Also, back to your original question, Mr. Ben, Tinubu is, whether we like it or not, Tinubu, I'm not a supporter of Tinubu. It's not that I don't like him personally, but I just don't like his political strategy. But Tinubu, whether we like it or not, is one of the most strategic and smart, in fact, he's the smartest president we have had in this Nigeria. He might not, wait, let me finish. He might not.
You said
wait, just 1 minute. I'll finish. 1 minute. It might not appeal to some of us. It might not appeal to some of us. But Tinubu is a political strength on its own. If Tinubu wants to rule us for 15 more years, it's going to be hard for people to fight him because he has done his bloody homework, and I don't think he will do that. I think Tinubu's ultimate agenda, this is my theory, I think his ultimate agenda is to split up the country and become an emperor in the Western region. That's my theory. But at the moment, he's the smartest president we have ever had. Yeah, that's my solution. Thank you.
Not necessarily mean a smartness that do revolution for Nigeria in time.
No, political smartness.
Political smartness, which is centered and selfish on its own.
Absolutely, exactly, yeah.
So it is a selfish smartness. That's what I'm talking about. So who do we have there, please? You hold on a second.
Mr. Ben.
Hello, Mr. Ben. Can I go?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Okay. All right. Let me quickly go. I think I agree with the last speaker. I don't think the VDM is got the political skill to navigate what's going on in the country. Because if you remember, whenever he dabbles into political conversation, he always miss Yan. Look at when he accused the Inspector General of Police. I mean, that enough. I think that happened last year. And he said some nasty things about the Inspector General of Police. I can't remember the case now. And I think he was arrested. You can't make such comments. I think on social media, social space, you can say whatever you want. But when you start accusing people in authority, you need to back up your claim. And I think he's going to struggle there. I think I agree with the last speaker. On social conversation, Janice Glow and whatever. That's his field, that's his terrain. I think someone's mic is
verify it.
He's giving this feedback.
No, I'm okay. I don't have any sound. I don't have any feedback.
Okay. Okay. Sorry. All right. So what? Go on your gift box and drop gift as well for the house. All right. So and I think another thing. I think Ben, you are right on this. Tinubu's government would probably be happy with VDM at the moment because he's taking the center stage, so to speak. Everybody's talking about VDM, even now ignoring Tinubu's economic policy. I think MTN.
He is the Minister of Information now.
Now the MTN tariff was hiked a few days ago. Nigerians are not talking about the data and everything.
Sorry, sir. I want to give you an example. A simple example.
Go on, sir.
Because we are on this topic, right? On January 27th, there was a calamity in Ibadan. 35 people went to collect rice, where they went in the middle of the night. Oh, December, not January, December, sorry. The stampede that happened there. On the night the stampede happened, another one happened in Abuja. it was like September 11th, literally. Another one happened in Anambra State. And then we have a news from Mali and Niger Republic that the French trip has arrived in Nigeria and were being hosted in another part of Nigeria. Now, let's say that foreign news is not, that international news is not important enough. We have 35 people that lost their life going to collect rice to eat for Christmas during the festivity period. Then we have 70 people between Anambra and other eastern part of the region. In Abuja alone, 15. I have the video of Abuja. I have the video of Lagos. You will cry. On the period this happened, where the whole nation was supposed to be talking about the policy of government that caused that, VDM came out at the airport and he said somebody has hacked into his account and take the NGO money. Now, this is where you need to understand. This is Christmas. This is the time people spend time with family, with friends, enjoyment, merry. VDM disappeared for 72 hours. He went incommunicado. That is not a prank. That is purposeful.
Is that Ben now giving us some conspiracy theories now?
We cannot say for starting that was purposeful. It might be a complete coincidence.
Is that your own conspiracy theory now? Or is that I need to ask you a question.
No, that is a view. You might be right to
call it a conspiracy, but I just want us to logic, because we are logic people here.
Yeah, that is your view.
Yeah. Now, I don't think
with the influence this guy have, right?
Yeah.
With the kind of influence he has, and this kind of news that I've just listed happening, and this guy to say this has happened to him, and this dominated the social media for 72 to almost 2 days. Now, if it is not purposeful, what is it? It's like, let me just
can I comment?
Let me just bring this to the bearing. It's like there's a plane crash in Lagos now. 160 people died. And the Lagos State governor announced that he's hosting a birthday party. I know. I just want us to compare. He might not be aware of what he's doing. That's why I said he might be politically naive. Yeah. But when you are connecting dots, you have to look at this angle. And this is why they don't like us to talk, because I go deeper to wake people's awareness. The VDM is hearing right now, and he know that was not true. He will not repeat that kind of nonsense anytime soon.
Well, Mr. Ben, can I comment?
Yeah, go ahead. Somebody else was here, though. Let somebody else talk.
Oh, sorry. No vex.
You have been taking over the stage.
Official, go ahead.
Sorry.
Verify. Let's verify it. You go ahead.
Yeah, I just actually wanted to ask a question to Mr. Ben.
Verify.
Yeah.
Have you been listening?
Sure, for a very long time now.
Before you ask a question, the question you are asking, is it based on what we've discussed today, or a question of what you've watched before?
No, 100% on this.
All right,
that we are talking about.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I actually wanted to set like a pandemonium. Like, for instance, suppose I'm in a classroom where teacher gave an examination, and then you score, let me make it to be you. Like, you score like 70, and you failed 30%. Yeah, you have 70% pass mark. So if I'm a critic looking at your test paper, will I notify your 70% good work that you did, that you analyze, struggle, take your time, study about, and you pass that 70%, or basically let's say 60% or any percent for that matter, maybe 50-50, or let me say 70%.
You mean if the person
then,
if you score 70%?
Yeah. Yeah, if I score 70%, and then I fail 30%. Yeah. So we just nullify it 70% because I actually fail 30%.
What is the cutoff?
Yeah, what I'm actually trying to say is that because I understand that okay, VDM, he have a lot of mistakes that he made in the past time, and even now he's still making, but his contribution to the society is very, very much fundamental, because we know that he have saved many people from bullying, this, that, and many other things. So my question was,
I want to answer the question. Can I answer the question, please?
Okay, you can.
I don't know the question. What's the question?
The question is, if I sat in exam and I score 70%, should he nullify the exam? Is that not what you're saying?
Should I classify you to be a failure because you failed 30%, or basically 40%?
We have to know what the cutoff mark is and the process at which I acquired that 70%. For example, if I cheat to acquire the 70%, then that's a factor in the decision that you're going to make at the end of the day, whether to nullify it or not. But if I legitimately score it, which is above the pass mark, then there's no point of even arguing whereby I will say nullify it or not. But if you cheat, for example, if you're running a marathon of 2,000 kilometer, and in the 1,500 kilometer, you decided to enter a bus just to cut 200 kilometer off. Just because you've run 1,300 already, should I mark you past?
Actually, to be sincere, I don't
get the relevance of that question, to be honest.
Yeah,
I got the relevance of the question, and that's why I really got it. Now, sir, verify.
Yeah.
I asked you the same question because I will not do it, because the process matters in everything you do in life.
Yeah, how do you?
I believe you agree, sir, that the process matters, and that's why I asked you if there's 1,500 kilometer marathon race, and you have done 1,000, remaining 500, and within that 500, you decided to take a bus to clock 200 or 150. Then you finally come out of bus, you run another 350. Should I mark you that you've run the race very well, or should I say disqualify?
Mr. Ben, good evening.
Let him answer, please, sir.
Okay.
Okay, can I answer it in two phases?
Yeah, you can demarcate it as much as you want.
Firstly, to be sincere, I will actually fail you because you use an illegal means to achieve that. And the second point, I would like to, can I continue?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, my second perspective on this, I will actually say, because sometimes it's right because it solves problem. Like for instance, Mao Zedong doing the Long March in China, and during the time he wanted to liberate China from this massive colonialism. He used a negative perspective in order to solve the problem, in order to liberate China today. Like China is one of the most industrial countries in the world. So he used the negative way, and actually today China is successful. So I would actually like to say that in some instances, I would definitely give you a pass mark because it benefits a lot of people.
So, is that your answer?
Yeah, sure.
What is the relevance of this question to the discussion? I don't get it.
He has a point. He has asked it very because I've been following his life.
What is the relevance
of the question?
Mr. Ben,
explain the relevance of this question, please.
Yeah, he's trying to tell us.
The reason why I asked it.
He's trying to tell us that he's comparing this question directly to VDM to say if someone has done 70%, if VDM has done 70%. We should give him a pass mark. That's what he's trying to explain to us.
No. It's not relevant because that
no, but that's why he's asking that question.
No, you got it right. First of all, that relevant that question is fundamentally
Mr. Ben, what the guy meant is that